Smash fell off pretty hard, I want to say a year after Sora's release. And overall, Smash Ultimate as a whole is well worth your money. It is more than a $60 experience. In a competitive standpoint, you could kind of argue you're getting your money's worth just from how much content it has. But compared to what we have now, fighting games have came a long way since the release date of Smash Ultimate, which was 2018. This video is for not the casual audience, it's specifically for people who want to get better at fighting games, specifically people who grew and saw themselves go far in Smash Ultimate's life cycle. So the reason I'm making this video is because Smash Ultimate is so different compared to the needs and wants of what a fighting game should have. I understand that in 2018, it was kind of a dark age for fighting games where there was like no crossplay, there was no rollback in every fighting game, and the training mode usually is lackluster in a lot of older titles. If you give somebody a controller and say play Smash Ultimate, they could do some stuff, but in a competitive aspect, if you want to grow as a person, the work you have to put into is a lot because of the limited tools that the game gives you. So for example, training mode is very lackluster. You can't really practice if somebody dodges or spot dodges or anything like that. And there's even mods, like there's a mod that you could do where basically if you have like the first edition of a Switch, you could mod your system to have a functional training mode in Smash Ultimate. But that's the thing, not everyone has that. So from how limited it is, it's really hard to practice stuff if you don't have that type of technology. Another thing about the game too is that the guides are like, usually a lot of fighting games have tutorials or anything like that to get better. Smash really doesn't have anything. They have kind of like a guide just telling you what the moves do. Smash is in a really strange thing too, where usually in fighting games, a lot of tech is like expected. And if it's not expected, they'll weed it out, like they will patch that shit out. But Smash has things where you kind of have to do your research to know it even exists. What do I mean by that? So like, for example, there's this thing called IDJ, where you could jump so low to the ground that these actually help for specific combo sequences. And I think it's very optimal for Sora players to learn. But of course, the game doesn't really teach you any of these types of tools. And it's not even just IDJ. There's boost pivot tilt, there's reverse aerial rush, and there's just so much silly tech that the game just doesn't tell you it exists until you actually do your research. A big carry to actually get very good at Smash Ultimate is to have a friend. And I know that sounds silly, because it's like, everyone has friends, right? And Smash and the Switch sold so well that the majority of people probably have a copy of Smash Ultimate, and you could learn with somebody. It's honestly, we live in a day and age of the internet where long distance is kind of expected. And I'm talking about like in friend groups and all that stuff. Everyone has jobs and, you know, they're not always available to practice, or they're not that dedicated to a fighting game for you to actually know somebody and be dedicated to learning constantly. Like even in 2018 when it came out, it sounds silly because it's like, go touch grass, go find friends to learn the game. But in my opinion, it's asking a lot for somebody to find an additional partner who has the game, who has interests, the same interests you have to get better at the game, and for you guys to sit somewhere together for you guys to play the game together and learn, you know, to get some friendly matches in. Like, well, I could practice online, right? The problem with practicing online in Smash Ultimate is there's 6 to 8 frames of delay online. This is before really rollback was pushed to everything. And not just that, but if Smash Ultimate came out this day and age, knowing Nintendo's backtrack and history and how they respect the competitive scene, there's honestly chances that if we get a new Smash game, it will still not have rollback. Because usually I feel like, in my opinion, Nintendo is pretty slow when it comes to incorporating very important things and basic things by this point to a fighting game. So realistically, if you have friends that you could play online with, you're not technically playing the game how it was meant to be. The game was meant to be played offline. So if you play online, you're honestly are not getting a authentic experience. This is interesting too, because this also leads to, if you're an online warrior like me for the longest time, in the community, it's actually the tier list of Smash is legitimately different from offline to online. The reason for that is because characters with slower moves, but they hit like a truck, it's way harder to react to that online versus offline. So somebody who plays a heavyweight, like maybe Little Mac or Bowser or anything that's usually slow reacting and big damage, they usually place higher in the tier list. Same thing for zoners. It's way harder to react to their game plan when you have 8 frames of delay. Smash as a whole, as a package in the competitive aspect, is fun. I think it feels great. I like the speed. And honestly, like, balanced wise, every character could pull on their own. Like, every character I feel like is not inherently bad. My only, I guess, like, nitpick is that in Smash fashion, for some weird reason, always the last DLC characters are one of the stronger picks, because that's when the game stops getting updated. So is playing Smash Ultimate in 2024 worth it? This is the thing, I can't recommend it. Like, it's a great game, yes, and you could have fun playing it, but I can't recommend it. Why? Is because we came such a long way from 2018. What do you mean by that, too? The problem is, well, it's not a problem, it's a great thing. Strive, Tekken 8, Grand Blue, all these fighting games that are new now have either something that makes them stand out for more people, more of an audience to play and have a reason to play. A lot of these modern games have a great training mode, have a tutorial, have a guide, have crossplay, have good internet, and all these tools makes barrier of entry anybody could grab in and try it. You could say the same thing for Smash. Oh, anybody could grab Smash and learn the game. The thing about Smash is there's so much little info and little tools to improve that like, I don't blame anybody for thinking this is unplayable to get to the highest potential. All these new fighting games, they give you the tools, they give you some resources to get better as a whole. The sad part too is we can't even play really Smash Ultimate in tournaments really that much anymore. Like, yeah, you could go to your locals, but even Nintendo themselves, the company that made Smash Ultimate, doesn't even support tournaments. It's almost like Smash Ultimate is like the greatest game ever, but Nintendo did everything in their power for this not to be a game that will be played for centuries or 10 years. If you look currently this day, you could find people playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You could find people playing the older SNK games and Tekken games and all that stuff. But just like Smash 4, Smash Ultimate is going to be a thing of the past once we have some type of replacement. And I do think that Smash is is so special, as in like nothing could really replace Smash, but there's like no reason to play unless we wait for another entry, which might take, I don't know, bro, when Nintendo is like, we need cash and we need it now. This is not supposed to be a hit piece on Smash. I love the game. I really wish it got updated and got like proper competitive treatment. But maybe all I could really do is hope for the next title to have these concerns fixed that I have, and hopefully that could, you know, fix its reputation in itself. There's not going to be a Smash replacement. Smash holds a special place in everyone's hearts, but right now we have to kind of just face the desert, face the waves, if you will, that it's going to be a very empty time, and playing the game kind of feels painful from how far fighting games have came. I'm sorry that this video kind of came off as a vent, but it's just, I do miss the game, and I have really no reason to go back to it unless for shits and giggles. And I wonder if this is relatable to you guys, and if you miss the game as well. Hit me up in the comments to see how you feel about the current state of Smash Ultimate in 2024. And join the Discord. I really appreciate it. We play fighting games, and it is a good time. It's a good time. I love fighting games. Grand Blue and Tekken coming out so soon. Goodbye. Mwah.